Every time you know what? I don't even. You know what? No.
Guys, it happened.
No.
It happened every year. Woo!
Paula, you glorious bitch full of grease and sugar. Love you.
Should have a life insurance agency right next door. That way you can help get your affairs in order. Oh my God, look at this. It's like a softball with filling. The great thing about donuts is that no matter where you live or you know, what your life circumstance is like, you can always find time to hate eat a donut if something's going really, really wrong. You can always hate eat a donut, whether you're in Arizona, whether you're in Buffalo. But I will say, I would challenge Sean. I'll make this deal with Sean. I will ship Sean a dozen Paula's donuts if he sends us the dozen of the best donuts he can find in Arizona. And I guarantee we win. I guarantee Paula wins.
You're Joe Namath on donuts.
Paul is pretty clutch. I'm willing to go deep on that one. I will happily send Sean a box of Paula's donuts if he ships us a box of the best donuts that he's got.
You know, anytime we talk to Sean, we're 17-point underdogs.
What is up with Arizona? Like, they're the team I want to hate this offseason. Is their goal to be the oldest team in the NFL? They signed AJ Green. They signed JJ Watt. Like, why? Why do either of those? I mean, Watt, I guess I get, but not if you're going to play him 90% of snaps.
Well, you know what? I think Sean can attest to this. There's people from all over the country that moved to Arizona, right?
Right.
Why not get players from every team?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm actually a Bengals fan, but I live in Arizona. I'm going to watch Arizona now.
Yeah,
because AJ Green's there.
Right. Who's near 35? Who's near 35? Anybody?
When they signed Green, I'm sitting there going,
okay,
Fitzgerald, Hopkins, and Green. This is 2015.
I know, right? I pulled out Madden 13, and I was curious about what it looked like. I was like, yeah. Efe Obada. So.
Oh, we actually had an episode?
Yeah, somewhere in here.
Okay.
Efe Obada. Everybody's calling him a defensive end.
What is he?
Well, so are we talking about where did he take snaps or where did he see his best production? I think those two things are different. Now, mind you, from a snap count perspective, people are getting excited over a guy, and I'll give some background here, right? But Efe Obada's snap count over the course of his career, now mind you, he entered the NFL in 2018, I think, 2018.
Through the Pathways program, right?
Pathway, he's the first player to be signed to an NFL team on the roster. Yeah. I think that's a big deal. He's a big character guy. He's actually a really cool dude.
Actually a big dude.
He's a very big man. So snap counts were, oh my God, come on now. I love Pro Football Reference. But
the ads?
Yeah, the ads are brutal.
What? You don't need any more ED medicine?
Listen, I know I'm getting near 40, right? I know the clock is ticking.
Hey, I'm closer to 40 than you are.
Well, what's behind us? So snap counts, 2018, 19% defensive snaps, 2019, 28% defensive snaps, 2020, 39% defensive snaps.
He would play here. Not even that's what he would if he makes the roster.
Yeah, maybe.
Doesn't he have practice squad eligibility being on the team for 3 years?
Well, he would be. He doesn't have. Well, he's got 3 years of eligibility. Yeah, he could still be practice squad eligible. It depends on what rules they adopt.
True.
Right. So it depends on the rules they adopt.
Because he came from the Pathways. How does it work? How old is he?
He's treated just like a normal player now, so it doesn't matter. 28.
28. Okay.
I think. I will look that up. 28 or 29.
Now, is this going to be, what kind of episode are we going to have today, Paul? Is this going to be well,
He'll
They
be
can
29 when the season starts.
There's going to be they can coach anybody up.
So I think he's a good culture fit, right? I think he walks right in, and he's a guy that worked hard to get where he was, right? Really likes football, like takes the game seriously. So I think from that standpoint, he's the type of player that Bean and McDermott like to go get. But he had 5.5 sacks last year on 39% snap count. So just think about that for a second, okay?
Now,
So
I didn't watch a lot of Carolina. Could this be a Jordan Phillips scenario?
Well, and that's where I think things are interesting, right? Because of the sacks that I saw, because I didn't go back and watch all 5. I don't think sacks are something you need to go back and watch highlight reel for.
No.
You can see whether a guy's an effective pass rusher by looking at the game film. But to talk specifically about the sacks, out of this, because I saw, watching the film, there were 5.5 sacks. I only saw 4 of them, right? But the 4 that I saw, because I didn't watch all 16 games, I'm not doing that. But the 4 sacks that I saw, 3 of them were from the defensive tackle position. Right. And everybody's like, oh, the Bills signed defensive end Efe Obada. But 3 of his sacks out of the 5.5 last year, let's call that a majority, right? We're in majority. Came from the defensive tackle position. Yeah, so you're with me now, right? Doesn't that change the paint job on the signing?
Yes.
Right. Yes, that's what I mean. They should be saying we signed defensive lineman Efe Obada, but everybody's we signed defensive end Efe Obada because that's all people want to talk about is what are we going to do with defensive end? Oh, this guy played snaps at defensive end. Must be a defensive end. No. And what's most interesting to me is he got a worker sack against Rodgers last year. Like, he was working for that sack against Rodgers last year. And it was the only snap he played in the second half. That was it. From the defensive tackle position, goes out, grinds a sack for Rodgers, doesn't play another snap. Didn't play a snap before that, didn't play a snap after that.
You know what I'm going to say.
He put Tom Brady in another universe last year.
He did.
Put him in another universe. Crushed him. I was shocked it wasn't flagged.
Let's see that. Let's try to.
Let's back this up.
Pack up the trucks.
Back this up like you're going back to 40.
God, there's just times where I just freaking hate you. So you have Harrison Phillips, Star Latulele, Vernon Butler, Ed Oliver, Zimmer, and then it's your defensive end position. Just saying, I'm missing guys. Don't worry, they'll be in the comment section. I'm missing guys. But then your defensive ends are looking a little light. Everyone's talking about, hey, you need this at 30, this at 30. You pick up Obada, who you said probably played better inside than outside. Who's a guy who was on the fence when he was drafted playing inside and outside?
You're thinking Ed Oliver.
Ed Oliver goes to end. Now, this is not, I want to be clear, because this is not a Edmund should play outside linebacker. It's different. It's so different.
Yeah.
Could Oliver transition across from Addison and Hughes? So you have Hughes, Starr, Odaba, and Oliver. Who's messing with that line, really? And then you rotate in Addison, you rotate in Butler.
Did you say Epinesa?
You rotate in Epinesa. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, they like those guys that can play multiple positions along the defensive front. Odaba seems to fit that mold.
100%.
But if you're looking for a first-round defensive end, you may already have it on the roster. Because what if Oliver plays 60% of his snaps, but he plays 40% inside, 20% outside? You circumvent that role with Oliver.
Yeah, here's where Odaba.
Interesting.
It is interesting, right? Yeah. So Odaba has a tendency to get a little sticky, right?
That's what McDermott wants.
That doesn't bother McDermott at all.
No, it doesn't.
On the interior, he depends on his swim move. Depends on it. Like Jerry Hughes depends on his swim move, right?
Yeah, that's not eating bodies.
Right. But that's why Starr is so important, right? So when you see
Yeah.
Odaba, you're going to see him in packages with Star. You're going to see him in packages with a house. You're not going to see him in packages, with Harrison.
That's right.
You're not going to see that.
If you do, I mean, if they, I have no doubt they'll play him at defensive tackle. But it's a very interesting dynamic. He's probably a specialty package player where he comes in at third and long.
Well, he plays special teams.
That too.
Let's go back to how important that is. He plays special teams too.
Now, keep in mind, I think what should be important here is the fact that we're not saying that this is a solution to the defensive front. Could they still go defensive end at 30? Yeah, but I'm just saying that this is a typical move of a coachable guy that could fit in the culture. Okay, he's from Carolina. Okay, all right, fine. But you look at the size, strength, speed, raw talent of this guy. For as much as they rotate on defensive front, it's not a bad sign.
Right. No, it's not. And, they're going to bring in a guy who was the only player to make an NFL, or he was the first player to make an NFL roster from the International Pathways Program, which just got extended another year, by the way.
Really?
So Christian Wade could be the international player, extra practice squad player again.
Why would? I mean, he's going to be 30, though.
Yeah, at some point you just have to look at how realistic is this.
Hey,
Are you just hurting his chances?
We need a running back. Why don't we
got Matt Breida, who oh my God, Mario. My soul exploded when I heard we signed Matt Breida to veteran minimum. Like, I know Miami, it didn't go great last year.
Listen, okay.
Listen.
I have to endure this. I'm not going to have you guys endure it. We're going to go.